Welcome back, friends. It's the Half-Ass Crafter. I'm Laura, the Half-Ass Crafter. We're going to do half-ass crafts, but first I want to show you a little smidge of happy mail that I just got, which I'm super excited about. It's from Debbie over at My Vagabond Style. If you don't know who Debbie is, then you might be new here, in which case you should go and watch our Crafting with Friends and Paper Doll with Friends videos, because Debbie and I hang out, we craft, we laugh. It's a ton of fun. So in our last Crafting with Friends video, we made ATCs, and Debbie and I said we were going to send each other one, and she sent me mine from her. And isn't it great? Man, that black outline just really does it. So I got my ATC, which is so fun. She also sent me this groovy stencil, which I was so excited about because she used it one time, and I was like, oh my God, that stencil is the best. So that is super cool. And then she sent me these very funny little dogs. It says, "Not tonight, I have worms. Snap it already. It's hard to hold these smiles. I knew he wouldn't show." And then there's one here that she says it's not for YouTube. So it's pretty funny, though. I almost want to tell you. Look, I'm just going to show it to you and you can read it. And then we're just going to... It's so funny. Okay, if you're easily offended, skip this part, okay? But if you are Marcy or Laura or I don't know, I know there's some of y'all out there that will find this super funny. So I'm not reading it. I'm just gonna show it to you. Okay, that's it. I know Debbie's gonna be so mortified that I shared that. Anyway, she also, if you watch Debbie, you know that she has that amazing book of 1000 Pinup Girls, and she sent me a page from it, y'all. I am just floored with excitement for this. I think what I might actually do is scan that in. And then she also sent a page she has this catalog from the 60s of kimonos, and she sent me a page of that, so I'm definitely going to be scanning that in. Here's a little printable of some collage paper, which is really cool because it actually goes with some other collage paper that I have over there. And then in our crafting chat, she said that she needed to send me all of the horse pages from her collage soup book, and she did. Aren't these great? Oh my gosh, I really love that one. Oh, this one's great too. That's like Ruby, if I had my way and she had a better mane and forelock. Oh, so good. So good. All right. Thank you, Debbie. This is awesome. I love it. I'm going to go hang this on my board right now, and then I'll come back and we're going to do some crafting. What I want to work in today is my small art journal. If you remember, we did some painty backgrounds and then we collaged on these, and they're really fun. And so I was going to do 3 more today. So this is a 2-ring binder. It's art by Marlene. It's an old version. So I think now they have more holes, or I don't know. Anyway, but that's where this is. That's what this is. If you want to go look for it, art by Marlene. This is the old version. There's a newer version. So we did the painty ones last time. I'll hold these up so you can see them. These were stickers, magazine collage. So today, what I want to do is we're not going to use inks or sprays or any of that. I'm going to use my gel plate prints. Now you can use collage paper. You can use printed paper, scrapbook paper. You could use your gel plate prints if you have any. I have all of these gel plate prints. I need to use them because I want to make some more. And so I thought long time ago, I made a background on one of my large art journal pages with just some gel plate prints that a viewer had sent me, and everyone loved the background. And they were like, I wish you would have scanned that background before you put your collage on top. And I wish I had of too, because it was beautiful. But anyway, we're going to do this. It should be fun. I hurt my finger when I was out doing some yard work over the weekend. It's a blister from using a rake and a pry bar to dig up rocks. Long story. This is what happens when you live out on property and take care of livestock. So All right, so I've got some gel plate prints. Some of these are really bright. So I'm gonna go ahead. Wow, those are really bright. These three, I think will go on a page together. And then maybe I'll throw a little bit of that one in there. And then these are all like jewel tones. You can kind of tell when I've done a session because all of the colors are usually very similar. Ooh, that's a good one too. Oh, I love that one. There's a digital of this one in my Ko-fi shop, which is linked below. If you want to go get yourself a copy of this and print it out, it's so good. All right, I think I'm going to do that one, and then I've got these for one. And then let's do maybe these three. I don't know. I'm not keen on that one with these. Maybe these three. Yeah, somehow that looks good to me. Okay, these we'll just set off to the side. Okay, so I am putting them, these are all like colors, so I'm putting them in little piles. That one will get that one, that one will get that one, this one gets this one. And all you're gonna do is, this is what makes this easy. We're just gonna tear. So that's the piece I tore, that's the piece I tore. And I'm not gonna sit here and fret over it and worry about it and wonder, oh, is that right? Is that enough? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Blah, 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 blah. We're not doing any of that. Not today. We are gluing today. So get out your matte gel medium or your Mod Podge, whatever you prefer. But if you live in a humid climate, you're probably going to want matte gel medium over Mod Podge. Where I live is very dry, so I don't really have to worry, which is amazing. But if you live somewhere humid, then you probably are not going to be super keen on the Mod Podge. Just a little FYI. And we're just going to rip pieces and glue them down. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. And it doesn't matter how, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. So I'm tearing off the white parts and I'm just recycling those because I don't need them. I can't use them. Somebody in the comments is going to say, but you can use them. Well, maybe you can, in which case, please, by all means, keep every last scrap you want. I, on the other hand, have no desire to do that because if you saw my art room right now, you would be like, yeah, you probably don't need to save every bit of everything. The matte gel medium that I'm using is Dina Wakley gel medium. It is a weird color because of some sort of mess up at the factory. We're not sure what. So you can't buy it. It looks white like normal matte gel medium. But I have a few of these, so I'm trying to get through them. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just putting the gel medium down, and then I'm just, again, I'm not thinking, I'm just doing, and I am wanting little pieces of paper. So, and I'm just gonna layer them on top, and I'm gonna speed through this because this is like watching paint dry. And then you'll see how I do this. Okay, we have 3 pieces and I didn't cover them all the way with collage. I just put bits of collage on them because I'm not sure what I want my focal points to be. So I did not go into this project thinking, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to cover the pages all the way, blah, blah, blah. I actually thought I was going to cover the pages all the way. But when I got done with this one, I thought, I don't think I want to cover the pages all the way. So I didn't. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to cover the pages all the way because I might add, I probably am going to add more collage. Plus the focal point will cover up some of this, at least the centery bits. So also white space is okay. And if I wanted to, maybe I could go in with a watercolor crayon or even watercolor and do something different. So we're going to let these dry. I'm going to go sort through all my collage soup because that's the stuff I love and want to use. And I'm going to find some really cool focal points for these, and then I will be back. Woo! All right, we're back. It's been a hot minute. For me, it's been like 2 weeks. For you, it's been all of like, I don't know, 3 seconds, if that. So we have our backgrounds, and I said that I was going to go get focal points, but then I started looking through my focal points, and I did get some out, but then I realized what I actually want is another layer on here. And I realized that these strips are very stark. And remember, these are gel prints. Maybe I need to remember that they're gel prints. So I thought, what would be more fun than to put a layer of tissue paper on top of the gel prints to sort of push them back and give it a bit more texture. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And I went through my tissue paper stash and I found this green and pink to go on this bright one. I found this fun cactus one to go on this more neutrally earth tony one. And then I found this fun floral print to go on this jewel tones one. So, and then I also have some white just as like a little extra. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some matte gel medium. I'm going to tear some pieces of these tissue papers up. I'm going to put them on these pages and let's see what we end up with. So I'm going to probably zip through that, maybe play a little music for you, and we'll see where we end up. Who knows? It'll be fun. Or not. I don't know. Maybe fun. Maybe not fun. Maybe sort of fun. Well, my camera died and I didn't realize it, and this is what I ended up with, and you didn't get to see it. So sorry you got like maybe, I don't know, 3 seconds of me gluing the tissue paper on top of the gel print paper that we had already put down. So this is what the backgrounds have ended up looking like. And they are very similar. They all have very similar colors, especially now, because what I didn't do, because y'all know me, I say I'm going to do one thing, and then as I get started, I'm like, never mind. I'm going to do this whole different terrible thing. It's not terrible, but it's like totally different. So that's what I ended up doing. Like I did one, I was like, oh, you know, this one actually, I don't want to just use this. I want a little pink here and a little green there and a little this, a little that. And then they all got a little bit of everything. So this is what we ended up with. Then I went through, I have this little basket. So a lot of people ask me, how do you store things? I have Chaos and Madness as my collage fodder organization method. So Chaos and Madness. I have these little baskets that some of them I got from the Dollar Tree, some I got from, the drugstore and the little dollar section. So, whatever. If I find these little baskets, I buy them. And this is generic collage fodder. There's some art by Marlene stuff. This is Tisha Moore stuff here. This is a collage soup printable. That's a collage soup printable. Some of this is scraps. This back here this is just printables. Like all in here is just printables that I've printed out. Some of it I cut, some of it I haven't. But there's no magazine images usually in here. That's the one thing. These are usually printables. There's like Tisha Moore printables. These are art by Marlene. They're not printables. They're just die cuts. And then these are all printables that I've printed, and some I've cut and some I haven't. So I went through that. I dug out some stuff. I've got 3 layouts that are similar but different. And I'm going to show you what they are, glue them down, and then that's it. We've made 3 new pages. So I really wanted to show making 3 collage art journal pages with no ink, no paint. You did have to get a little messy with some gel matte medium, but that's okay. You could also use Mod Podge, but if you were in a high humidity area like Florida, you know, the Southeast, you know, whatever, if you have high humidity, Mod Podge is going to make your pages stick. So you probably don't want that. You want gel, matte gel medium. So just FYI. Okay, let's look at what we've got, because it's like the shell game. So let's see what all I've got going on here. So I'm going to slide this one up and out of the way, and I think I'm going to slide this one up and out of the way, and we'll start with this one. So this one, I have this lady, and I was like, oh, she's got to go on one of these pages. So, and I've got this blank spot here, so I was like, oh, she'll fit right there. That's a good place for her to go. And then I had just this little piece, this like extra piece, and so I decided I wanted to cover up her little straight line there. So I was going to put that there. Marcy sent me these, and I cut them out. This one says, "Thou shalt not whine." And I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to be hilarious. Oh, I found this little printable, and I thought that would be cute behind her. So then she gets this little frame, like so. Can you see that? Oh, yeah. So then I went and, so here's my chaos and madness. This is my collage fodder that I cut out of magazines and make. And that I've put in this little binder. So I was like, you know, let's use some of my collage fodder. And I thought, you know what, best to use, I love these mushrooms. So I want to use my little mushrooms. And I thought I can use these little mushrooms on there to cover up that stark contrast of that line. And then I have this third mushroom that I was going to put here. I'll show you. And I was just like, it's kind of weird. Like, why is there just a line of mushrooms, right? So then I thought, if I line them up, the line becomes a focal point or a design choice. But if I put it up here, now I just have 3 mushrooms. They all kind of make sense together, and it brings the whole piece some cohesiveness. And I don't know why I thought to put that mushroom up there. I just thought something needs to go up there. And then when I moved the mushroom up, I was like, oh, that actually works. And now your eye is going to look at the whole thing this way. I don't know. It just works. I'm not sure. So that is that one. And then I have this one, which is, so this is the one that had the light teal aqua pages. Another thing from Marcy, which is hilarious. But I was like, oh, you know what? This mermaid looks really good in here. So I really like that mermaid. And then I cut out these fish. And so I thought, well, you know, I could put, I'm thinking about this hole here. So I need to move her where she is not going to cover that hole. So then I can have that fish. And I thought I could put this fish behind her. And then I have these like bubble looking things. And there should be another one somewhere. Of course, I've lost it. Why do I keep losing my marbles? What is, oh, there it is. Must have been on her and I didn't see it. Y'all were like, it's right there, it's right there, it's right there. Okay, so then this is, actually, I may have had this fish down here and this fish up here. Yes, because that fish takes up more space. And then I was going to put this here. Let's move this fish down to like there. Get it? Because she's a mermaid, so laugh till you leak. It makes it funnier. Get it? She's a mermaid. I don't know. Okay. And then the third one is pretty simple. So these Art by Marlene cutouts are, you know, they're really kind of nice. So this one has been backed with black cardstock and then cut around. And I really haven't been able to find a place to put her. She's sort of interesting. To me, she reminds me of like a showgirl in, you know, an old time Western. So she has a little bit of like, you know, provocativeness. And so I've had a hard time finding places to put her. And I think that needs to be layered on top of that. And so what has ended up happening is I put her on here and I thought, well, she's the right color for this. And then I have this little dog and I thought this lady would totally have a little dog. And I think this feather is also slightly provocative if we do that. Just stay with me. And then I have this, which I think just cinches the whole thing. She's a rainbow sprinkle in a vanilla world. And I was like, yes, yes, I think this is where she belongs. And I put this up here just because it sort of felt like that it finished it. I can take it off and we can see. I mean, I think it'd be okay without it as well. Maybe we don't need it. Maybe not. Okay, we'll not use it then. So these are the three that I have. I'm gonna go glue them. I'll come back, we'll look at them all, and then I've got to stick them under something because right now they're all curled up because it's very dry here. And then, yeah, so I'm going to use some matte gel medium. I have this Dina Wakley stuff. Full disclosure, this was gifted to me. I think that this stuff's pretty expensive. I also much prefer golden heavy body gel matte medium, which I have a whole thing over there, but I'm trying to get through my regular. So this is cheaper than this, but I got this gifted to me, which is why I use it. So I don't want y'all to think that, you know, I think this is all you can use. That's not true. All right, so I'm gonna glue all this down and then I'll come back and show you the finished product and then you can see what it looks like. And I think I'm going to, yes, I'm going to take a little something that I learned in one of my videos with Debbie, and we're going to do it when I finish these up, and that will finish them off, and then we'll put them in our book, and we'll be done with our second set in our mini art journal. Be back. And we did it. Hooray! Okay, so I outlined these. I glued everything down, and then I outlined some of the elements with a Stabilo All. This is a Stabilo All. It is a black pencil that when you touch it with water, it gives this like watercolory look. So lots of artists use them. You can find them at fine art stores. I think Hobby Lobby carries them, but like Blick Art Materials carries them, or Utrecht. I couldn't find one at my Joann's, but maybe you can find one at yours. I'm not sure. Can't find them at Michael's here, but maybe your Michael's has them. Not sure, but they are in the fine arts supplies. So we got these done. I glued everything down. I outlined her, I outlined the dog, and then I outlined the fish and the mermaid here. And what I want to do as my final touch, I am going to, in honor of Debbie, I am going to outline each one with this massive Sharpie marker that I have. They are still damp, so I did spray them with water because I needed them to flatten. But when Debbie and I did our ATCs, we outlined our cards. Debbie had the idea and I copied it because that's usually how I craft with Debbie. I just copy her idea and it's fun. So I thought, let's outline these and see what happens. So this is a big, huge Sharpie oil-based paint pen. So it is oil-based, so you do kind of have to be careful with it. I have run it on the edges of things that are acrylic paint, and I haven't really noticed a problem with it. So I'm not sure. I've never actually tried to mix oil and acrylic paint. I just hear don't do it. So I'm like, okay, then I won't do it. And I have no desire to try and see why not to do it. Oh, I love the outline. Gosh, this just really changes things up, doesn't it? Like it really makes it like a whole new piece. Really fascinating. All right, so we made our 3 pieces. We've glued them down. And if you have an idea for the next 3 small art journal layouts that you want to see me do, what kind of background do you want me to try? So I've done the collaged. This is just collage. There's no paint or inks. I've done the paint and ink with a little bit of collage on top. Remember, we put little collage pieces. But this was painted. We painted the backgrounds and added some collage pieces on top. So what do you want to see? Is there a technique that you've seen that you think is really neat and you want to see someone try it because, you know, maybe you want to try it, but you're a little scared? I am more than happy to be your guinea pig. So let me know in the comments if there is a technique for an art journal background that you would like to see done, and I will be more than happy to do the next 3 pages with that technique or those materials. If you have one thing in particular that you're like, ooh, do a blah 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 background, let's do it. So leave me a comment, let me know. Thanks so much for joining me in this fun little adventure making some little small art journal pieces. I really love making these pieces. This is such a great size. This art journal is by Art by Marlene. They still make this size. It may not look exactly like this one, but it is this size. This is 5.5 by 7.5. So roughly 5 by 7. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a little comment. All the interactions help my channel, which in turn helps me, which in turn helps you because you get more videos. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.